Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Shoop Sports. I am your host, Ethan, or Shoop as they call it. And today we are going to be going over our daily fantasy lineups. Take a look here. We had a big week last week. We won 2 of our 7 contests. We won one of them for $2, so a $1 entry, $2 winning. The other $1 entry, we won $40. So when we're doing these lineups, we want to look back and see, of course, what went well, how did we win, but we also want to see what else can we improve on. So let's take a look at our winning lineups first of all. So this one we finished just above, I believe the cutoff's like 5,100. We literally just made it off this lineup. We'll take a quick look at it. What worked well for us in this lineup was we had an off the radar stack go off. Not really go off, but it produced enough points so that the rest of our team could benefit. Obviously, Aaron Jones was what held our team back, but everyone else besides him actually had a really good day. Most finishing in double digits besides Noah Fant, who came close. And by the way, I made a mistake in last week's video. It is not PPR, it is half PPR, so we do not get the PPR points. But this lineup still worked. Let's take a look at the one that we got $40 from. Look at that. 48th out of 45,000. This is actually the first lineup that we made with each other. And the strategy that we used last week was we went cheap with running back. So these guys are, Mike Davis was $18, Austin Eckler was $21. And obviously, although they finished the poorest out of everybody, it allowed us to get safe bets to go off at all the other positions. But of course, Debo was our big hit. Debo was under $20 and netted one of the biggest fantasy days out of anybody. And of course, you got Kyler and DeAndre Hopkins. Hopkins surprisingly low owned. I didn't expect him to be all the way down there, but yeah, again, 2 reception touchdowns. Thielen was a last minute pick to put in, and he went off too. Again, these guys surprisingly unrostered. Maybe just not hot names. So what we're going to do is we're going to follow the same strategy of going cheap at running back. And we're going to see whatever names can we get in there that are not hot names but can go off this week. Guys who are off the radar. Maybe they didn't have big games last week and people are going to fade them. So here we go. We got upcoming. I made 7 lineups already, but usually what I do is I make the lineups first, and then after I'll go in and edit it. So we have 7 entries again this week. We're doing one in the free cup as we always do, and we have 5 $1 lineups, and all these entry fees we used as Yahoo points. So we didn't even have to use any of our $42, so we can keep stacking up there. And we use some of those points on a $15 $1 million total prize pool entry. And I kind of already had an idea of what I want to do, but I'm going to set this lineup with you so that we can go check it out and what our strategy is this week. Okay, so we want to look at the games, and we want to see, okay, where can we get great value at running back? Guys who are going to be low owned but can have big weeks. And the number one name that I immediately thought of this week is Kareem Hunt. Kareem Hunt playing against Houston's awful run defense. And obviously Nick Chubb's going to get the bulk of the carries, but a guy like Hunt, who's about $11 cheaper, will definitely at least get some garbage time carries and could be in position to score multiple touchdowns. I think $21 is a bargain here for what the potential outcome can be. Now, who do we want to pair him with? Well, look at a guy like Daryl Henderson, and maybe people haven't caught on yet, but he's the top dog in that Rams backfield. Like, Sony Michel got maybe 2 carries last week. Didn't see any of Jake Funk. So the fact that he's an $18 bell cow makes me immediately want to put him in there, even if he's playing a decent defense like Indy. That'll give us some stability points, and if he finds end zone, this lineup can be golden. I considered guys like Devin Singletary, but I just don't think Buffalo uses him enough. And Kenyon Drake is another good choice, but he's going against Pittsburgh's run defense. And I think Oakland's entire offense is going to get shut down on Sunday. So, where will we go elsewhere? Let's look at some of my receivers. And you kind of saw this already, but I want me some Justin Herbert and Mike Williams stack. And we always want to try to stack in our lineups, give us better chance at landing more points. And I love how much he targeted Mike Williams last week against a great Washington defense. Still got 12 targets. And I'm saying great Washington defense. Maybe they're not looking as good, but one thing that we do know is that Dallas's defense still stinks. And we will probably be seeing more of that. So we're definitely going to fade them. And going in that game, a guy who was surprisingly low priced this week is CeeDee Lamb. And he even had a good week last week. So it was very surprising. But $23, that's cheap enough where we can get a stud wide receiver in our lineup and barely have to pay up anything. So now we got $82. There's a couple other picks that are like Arizona's defense. They're going up against a good offense, but their sack numbers are outrageous, and they're going against an even worse offensive line in Minnesota. So I think Arizona could have potential to be one of those underrated fantasy defenses all year, but priced at $16, you got a lot of these teams ahead of them that are like a few bucks more that I wouldn't even bother taking, like the Rams or the Bills. Obviously those are good. Those are good defenses, but in terms of points, the upside is with the Cardinals with their sack totals. All right, so now we're gonna look at some other potential targets, and I want some pieces of this Denver offense. I'm going to go with Noah Fant because of the fact that Jacksonville, their defense is horrible, like we said, and we watched Pharaoh Brown go off against them last week. And now that Jerry Jeudy's gone, someone else is going to have to get the bulk of those targets. I think it's going to be Fant, and I think that's a very good price we can get from $18. So now we'll fill in with the rest. We have $48, a pretty good amount left. So let's try to find someone cheap. So one guy that I really like, and I'm putting in a lot of lineups this week, is Deonte Johnson. Got the touchdown last week, and Las Vegas's pass defense is poor. He is definitely going off potential. So now we add him in. And we got $29 to spend. What kind of stud can we add in here? Oof. We could get... Why don't we do a triple stack? So we got Justin Herbert with Mike Williams and Keenan Allen. This is a $1 million contest. And I'm betting that Herbert's going to throw the ball a lot. And if they're throwing the ball a lot, that means the Cowboys are too. So CD can go off. Yeah, this lineup has big point potential. And hopefully nothing goes too wrong with it, but that's going to be our $1 million entry. And the best part is that there's no management fee. So, yeah, so no management fee. And as long as you get the top 15,000, we get $35. And look, as of now, only 12,000 entries. And it's guaranteed. So let's go cash our money. All right. So upcoming. So we did a few more lineups, and I'm just going to go over these quickly. So this is another Kareem Hunt lineup, and this is, instead of Pittsburgh throwing it, I'm going to go with them dominating on the ground game with Vegas's poor rush defense. Their entire defense is poor. Cooper Kupp was another guy that was very cheaply priced. So I like him in there. And in this one, I'm going with the Russell Wilson DK stack. We saw how bad Tennessee's defense was last week, and Tyler Lockett had the big game. So now it's going to be DK's turn. Just my thoughts. In this entry, I wanted a running back against Jacksonville. So we're going to go with Melvin Gordon because I don't think a lot of people are going to be thinking about starting him. And some other cheap guys, such as Allen Robinson, $23. And he's going up against Eli Apple. He's going to feast. Jalen Hurts, of course, with Dallas Goedert. Now, Dallas Goedert, not a particular enticing pick, but if he gets a touchdown, makes the rest of our lineup boom. This one is a McCaffrey lineup. So we paid down for players like the Jets defense, Zach Pascal, Christian Kirk. Just guys that that are still kind of lowly priced. So if they're as good as they were last week, we're going to take advantage of that. And we're putting Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase together, of course, the connection. And of course, Nick Chubb's going to have a great game. This is a lineup where I put 2 cheap running backs. I'm nervous about Eli Mitchell's use this week. And I think he'll be highly owned, but if he's the real deal, we know for a fact that San Francisco's going to run the ball a lot. So let's try to get him at this cheap price. And as you notice, in this lineup, I put Amari Cooper. If CD isn't the one that goes offense, Cooper, I want to benefit from that in some way. Same with our Kyler DeAndre stack. It got a lot more expensive this week, but I think it's such an elite stack that we have to keep it in there for now. And just a couple more. This is our last $1 entry. And this is an off-the-radar stack. But Tyrod Taylor, $21. If you get some garbage time points, it could really benefit us. And so we were able to put in some higher-profile receivers, such as Jefferson and Hopkins. And even had Darren Waller in there. So we're benefiting from the cheap quarterback play. This is our last line that we're making. This is Austin Eckler in case the Chargers have a good running game instead. And then mixing Tannehill with A.J. Brown. Seattle's defense is still suspect. I'm not sure the Colts offense is all the way there yet, but we do know that they can give it up through the air. Marquez Callaway, I think, is going to be very low owned this week because he was playing Jair Alexander and he only got 2 points. We're going to try to take advantage of that upside. And yeah, so that's pretty much it. So our goal with these lineups is to not just make a lot for the sake of making a lot, but to give us plenty of different options. So if one lineup goes off, that's all we need. We don't want to rely on one lineup and not win anything. So it worked for us last week. We had one big boom lineup. Let's go for it again. All right, so good luck to everyone on their fantasy days. I hope you learned something from this video and you're more set for your lineups. This is Shoop Sports, signing out.